We're here to talk about a totally exciting and completely glamorous topic.
There's nothing glamorous about two toilets in front of us right now.
Well, people call it glamping, so it must be glamorous.
Guys, I never thought that I would be standing in the garage with two toilets and my wife, but here we are today. Look, our goal today is to talk about the pros and cons of a cassette toilet versus a foldable toilet versus a shovel, and to see which one might be right for you.
And best for the environment.
And best for the environment. There's that too.
Yeah, there's that too.
Stay tuned. Welcome to TrailRecon. I'm Brad.
And I'm Regina. You know, one of the best things about overlanding and getting off the grid is enjoying the unspoiled beauty of nature and getting away from all the modern stressors like cell phones and televisions and traffic jams. But you know what else you won't find off the grid? Bathrooms and plumbing.
That's right, and that's why today we are going to talk about the pros and cons and the differences between a cassette toilet, a foldable toilet, and a shovel. There's some things we like about each one and some things that are kind of inconvenient, but hopefully sharing our experiences will help you in making a good decision. But I think first, there's just some good general practices we need to talk about.
Yeah, there's definitely a right way and a wrong way when it comes to taking care of business.
Taking care of business? Is that what word we're going to use?
Taking care of business.
There we go.
So believe it or not, we actually get asked all the time about how do you go to the bathroom when you're camping and off the grid. I mean, after all, human beings have been pooping and peeing in the woods since the dawn of time. But our ancestors didn't have the advantage of modern science, and now we understand the impact that all that poop and pee has on both the environment and our public health. I mean, if you think about it, poop carries some pretty nasty diseases like Giardia and Salmonella and other gastrointestinal diseases that can turn a wonderful camping trip into a nightmare.
And you know what else turns your camping trip into a nightmare is when you roll up to a beautiful campsite and there's toilet paper in the bushes and all over the place, and it's just disgusting.
It's gross.
Yeah, so there are some best practices and some things that you should not do, like going right next to your campsite, that are very important. So what are some of the things that we need to make sure we're doing?
Okay, so if you're gonna dig a cat hole, you need to make sure that it's 6 to 8 inches deep, 4 to 6 inches wide, so that you have plenty of room to squat over that little hole. It should be at least 100 feet from your campsite, 200 feet from any water sources, and 50 feet from any trails.
Digging a cat hole is not the most glamorous thing in the world. You gotta grab a shovel, you gotta head off into the woods.
I'll take the little one.
Big or little shovel. You gotta head off into the woods away from your campsite, but you need to, be responsible about where you're digging that hole. And when you're done, you need to cover it up, kind of leave no trace.
Actually, you should poke it with a stick and try and break up your poop.
Yeah.
And don't bury your toilet paper. That's something that should always be packed out.
Yep.
Never bury it.
Bring a little Ziploc bag or trash bag with you and take your toilet paper out with you, because even if you get the RV toilet paper, it still takes a long time to biodegrade, especially in the desert where it doesn't get a lot of rain. So.
Right, or even if you bury it properly, animals have been known to dig it up, which is disgusting, but it happens.
Yeah, so make sure you cover it up really well. What are some other things to think about?
As for peeing in the woods, well, there's also a right way and a wrong way to do that. You don't have to dig a cat hole, but you should make sure that you're not peeing on vegetation, because animals have been known to dig up sensitive plant life looking for the salts in mineral-rich human urine. It's okay to pee on like grass, rocks, soil, but just don't pee on the plants.
Yeah, look, it's difficult sometimes. You're waking up at 2 in the morning and you gotta go. Well, you need to be responsible. Grab your headlamp and go walk away from camp and pay attention to where you're going to the bathroom. So I think all that stuff is super important. And I think there's some folks out there that need to listen, kind of need to hear that.
Well, you don't know what you don't know, and a lot of people haven't been taught this. And so we're hoping to help educate folks, because we want to leave things better than we found it, and we want our trails to stay open. And we don't want our rangers, their job is not picking up human poop.
Yeah.
And a lot of them that we've talked to have found themselves doing that. Yeah. And that's kind of gross.
All right, we're ready to start talking about the pros and cons of these toilets?
Absolutely.
All right. All right, now we're going to talk about the different types of toilets and the pros and cons of each of them. And this is the cassette toilet, and this has really been a good, valuable tool, one that you've liked a lot.
Oh yeah, this was a total game changer for me. Once you got this, I'm like, okay, I can go for long periods of time off the grid and, you know, do this maybe long term. So.
Yeah, guys, it's important to make sure that your spouse is comfortable, and having a toilet, whether it's a cassette toilet or a foldable toilet, we'll get into those in a minute, is important. Now, some of the things that we really like about the cassette toilet is that it has flushable water. So this has a fresh water container, and then on the bottom it has a waste container. Now this is a smaller toilet. There are larger ones, but the great thing about this is you pop the lid and you do your business, and then you have fresh water that you can flush. You rinse it down with.
Wait, first you got to open.
You got to open it. So
there's lever.
Open a lever. And you flush it down. You close the lever when you're done. Close the lid, and then everything is stored and sealed in the container on the bottom.
It's pretty odor proof too.
Yeah.
So
we do use these little packs, porta packs, but there's different types that you can put in there just to make sure that
lavender breeze.
Yeah, we've never had an odor issue with it, so it's been really nice. This one again is a smaller one, so you can get taller ones, which, you know, you do have to sit kind of low on this one, so having a taller one could be a benefit. Plus you would get a larger waste disposal container on it.
And what I liked about it is, yeah, it does get pretty heavy, but I could still lift this one in and out of the trailer and put it into the other thing that is maybe a con for this is you need a privacy tent.
Yeah, you're not going to just set this down or carry this off into the woods. I mean, you can. If you're by yourself, it's no big deal. But unlike like the shovel or the foldable toilet, you can just head off into the woods. Some of the cons of this one are, one, it is big and bulky, so it does take up quite a bit of space. You do have to keep fresh water in it, and you are going to have to find a place to dispose of the waste. Now, what we found, what works for us is if there's a pit toilet at a campsite, that works pretty well.
We've had fun finding those, driving around. Where's the toilet?
Yeah, sometimes when this starts to get full, that could be a con. You're like, we need to find a place to empty this before we go back off the grid. You can dump it in a regular toilet.
If you're just gone for like overnight, just dump it when you get home.
Yeah, we've done that several times where you just dump it when you get home, and it's not that messy as long as you just take your time, wear some gloves.
Wear some gloves.
Yeah. This is more expensive than the others, so there's a cost factor involved in that as well.
And there's a potential for the stuff to leak.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't had big, massive spills.
Well, we've had the water tank leak. We're like, what is this? And fortunately, it wasn't anything.
Right. It was just water, thankfully. This has actually been a really good toilet, and I think it was in the beginning. It was just like you said. It was a game changer. It was a game changer for us. However, we have transitioned to another toilet.
No longer my favorite.
All right, Regina's going to start setting up the foldable toilet, and while she's doing that, I just want to mention that over at TrailRecon.com, you can find both cassette toilets and foldable toilets like this one here. So go check us out over at TrailRecon.com. Plus, we've got all kinds of other gear out there to outfit your adventures. So the great thing about the foldable toilet, as you saw, is it comes in this very thin bag. Now, there's other foldable toilets. They're all pretty compact, and they set up pretty quickly, as you can see here.
When I'm not fumbling with it.
Yeah, you're doing a good job.
It's slipping out of my hands, but we're almost there.
Almost there. Now, there is a foldable toilet that we tried in the past that only had three legs. Remember that? You actually fell once.
You don't want it to disassemble and knock you over when you're in the midst of using it. It's not a pleasant experience at all.
No, so we've had this one for a while, and it's very sturdy.
I love it. I mean, it's super compact. I mean, it folds up in this little bag. We did kind of create this for it as a cover because when we're at camp, we will, if it's just pee that's going in here, we do reuse it for, we're usually never in one place for more than a day, but when someone goes poop in it, that's when we fold it up and toss it away.
Right. So the thing about the foldable toilet, let's just talk about the pros first.
Okay.
The pros is it's very compact and lightweight.
Yes. It's easy to assemble.
Easy to assemble. if I want to just head off into the woods with it, it's easy to do that. I can't do that with the cassette toilet.
Right. Well, even on a day trip, we'll throw that little bag into the back of a Jeep, depending on which vehicle we're taking, and I just go off into the woods and find some shelter or a rock if we're in the desert. And seriously, setting this up and using it is quicker for me than trying to do the cat hole thing.
Yep. Very true. Another pro is it's not very expensive. This is pretty inexpensive. However, it does require bags. And so these are actually a special bag. So they're a two-part bag. So there's a trash bag that has like a gel or something
inside
of it.
Kind of like the stuff you put in diapers or feminine products.
Yeah, so the bag is where you do your business. And then when you're done, that all gets tucked up into the Ziploc bag. And so you need to make sure that you have several bags. We almost actually ran out. We were able to go to the store and we were actually able to find some more.
Right.
But the problem with these bags is they're not really cheap. They're a little expensive. I mean, for like 5 or 6 bags, they're about $2 to $3
right. It's a
each.
recurring expense that you're going to have.
Right.
So.
Unlike the cassette toilet where you just buy it once and you're done with it.
You're done with it.
Yeah. So that is one negative about this. We haven't had any odor issues, which has been good, but that because you mentioned if we go
once you poop in it, it's done. Yeah.
And I don't use this as a guy. I don't use this to pee in. I just head off into the woods.
I can't believe we're talking about
I know, it's just such a weird conversation.
It is.
But it's important conversation. I know a lot of people want to know.
And we all do it.
And we all do it. Any more cons about this one that you can think of? It's a pretty good toilet.
No, I mean, it's easy to clean when you get home. You just douse it in Lysol and it's good to go.
Yeah. Surprisingly, I didn't expect it, but this has become your favorite toilet.
It is. Yeah. I mean, because again, it's lightweight, it's easy to use, it's very stable, which is important to me. The 3 legs just wasn't working.
And how's the height? Do you like the height?
The height's good. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So there you go, guys. That's the foldable toilet. Now let's talk about the thing that just about everybody carries, and that's a shovel. All right, our third and our least favorite, is that safe to say?
Yeah, absolutely.
Would be a shovel. Like a man shovel, yeah.
This is lightweight, easy to carry with you.
Yeah, but I will tell you, a little plastic shovel like this, if you have hard ground, sometimes you're not gonna be able to dig that 6x8 hole. It's gonna be tough.
That's when I call you.
All right, so look, there are some pros and cons to using a shovel to go do your business out in the woods. One is you can just grab this and walk out in the woods and go find some privacy.
So is that a pro?
That is a pro. Another pro is most people carry a shovel because it's multi-purpose. Because if I get stuck somewhere and I need to dig out the Jeep or the tires.
This is a great tool.
No, you definitely want the bigger one. So a lot of people have a shovel with them. Some of the cons, we've talked a little bit about that, but you're not packing it out. You're leaving it there. You should still pack out your toilet paper, but
you are leaving a trace, basically.
Right, you're leaving a trace, and so that is a big con. And there are some areas where you can't, where they tell you you're not supposed to do this. You have to pack it out. So even if you have a shovel, it won't be an option for you. So,
right. Yeah. So and the ground could be like super hard.
Right. Yeah. So and then there's the whole squatting thing.
Oh, yeah.
That could be uncomfortable.
Some of us have absolutely no balance, which is why I like my foldable toilet.
Yeah, you don't have anything to sit on, so you're doing it caveman style. You're squatting. So look, I've used all 3 of these, and there's no right way or wrong way, but I think all in all, I think we have a favorite. So let's just kind of recap, and we'll talk about that. All right. So in the beginning, we thought the cassette toilet was the way to go.
Yep.
You still like the cassette toilet?
I do like it. I mean, it's nice that it's kind of flushable and...
Yeah. And we still have it. We will probably still use it again in the future, possibly, depending on what our situation is.
Right.
But we are fans. You are fans.
Yep. This is my favorite.
Yeah.
And I think something we did forget to mention is eventually we're going to run out of space. So you have to be mindful that you're going to fill up this 2.5 gallon tank within a short period of time. Whereas this, as long as you have bags, you're good to go.
Correct. Toilet paper as well. You have to have RV toilet paper for this one, where you can bring your nice squishy, soft toilet paper with that one. I actually prefer the foldable toilet as well. I think it's a good option, and being able to just dispose of those bags just like you would a diaper is very convenient. So
yes, it is.
That works out. The shovel, look, I don't know. I kind of think
Called
that
last resort.
it's kind of the last resort. Yeah, we carry a shovel with us, but I'm not using it if I have a toilet like this.
Nope.
So, anything last thoughts?
No, can't think of anything.
Well, guys, as we started this whole video out, please, please, please be responsible out there. Pack it in, pack it out.
Tread lightly, leave no trace.
Be responsible out there. Let's keep the trails open. Let's keep the campsites beautiful. And be sure to check us out over at TrailRecon.com. We've got all this gear up here that you're taking a look at. So, all right. I can't believe we did it. We sat here and talked about toilets and pooping.
The glamorous side of camping. What's that old song, Living the Glamorous Life?
All right, guys. I hope you found this informative, and hopefully now you can make a decision on what's right for you. Thanks for watching.